There you have the NRL. All right. You got the NRL that has absolutely been killing it in the rugby, what do we call it, conquering of Australia and the development within the South Pacific region. Obviously, we've talked to people that do rugby league over in the US, and obviously Northern Britain has an element of it as well, but nothing has been as strong as Australia, and it looks like it's not stopping anytime soon. Because in this moment, we're finding out that the rugby league, the NRL, the National Rugby League, is receiving a $600 million injection from not their governing body, from the country of Australia itself. I want to take a look, show you guys a video that basically gives a little bit of an explanation. Give me.
The NRL is considering all bids for expansion as they look to continue to grow the game. Australian Rugby League Chairman Peter V'landys is meeting with the Australian government today to continue to explore the chance of a team in Papua New Guinea.
We're at very early negotiations with government. There's still a long way to go. It's no done deal. And there's some very good bidders in Perth and Christchurch and even here in Brisbane. So it's far from a final decision. Look, all the bids are fantastic, and it just goes to show you how good the game is going at the moment, that everyone wants to be part of it. And look, the Premier of Perth, I'm taking an AV out on him. He rings every day asking to put the Perth team in. So there's no more passionate supporter than the Premier of Western Australia. So their bid is looking very, very good. And the people of Papua New Guinea to get engaged, you've got to have the team in Papua New Guinea. For me, having it in Australia, it's not really a Papua New Guinea team. And we've got to take the game to Papua New Guinea. There's 18 million people in Papua New Guinea. And look, the whole purpose of this is to provide support to all the areas of Papua New Guinea. Kids don't go to school. And if you don't go to school, you don't get educated, and that causes a poverty cycle. And what we're going to do is provide rugby league players to go to the schools. And what that does is actually compels kids to go to school, because they want to go to school, because they want to play rugby league. They want to see the rugby league heroes. And if we can do that through our game and help an emerging nation, we will do it. But we've just got to get the negotiation right. So it's more than just an NRL team. This is actually helping Papua New Guinea.
So as you can see, there is clearly the advantage that they're trying to do that goes bigger, and which is why the Australian government comes in. This, I think, is one of the biggest things you could actually ask for in rugby, because of the fact that it has a huge effect in being able to get support from your country and politicians, and then, of course, your ability to be able to grow. Australia putting the 18th team in the NRL, going out of Papua New Guinea, massive. Absolutely massive. You can't take that away. And it's not stopping there. Obviously, they're trying to continue to rise around the South Pacific and then be able to grow out from there. And utilizing education is a direct benefit for not only the universities over in Australia, not over for the government body, for the government itself in Australia, but it also provides a community support, as was explained, to the people in Papua New Guinea. So it makes rugby into a tool and a value center. And again, we're talking about rugby league for total economic growth, which is all that's being asked. That's how you show value, and that's getting presented out of here. This is nuts, and I'm surprised that Australia Rugby Union hasn't thought of or hadn't worked on something like this before. Again, it could be a factor of the size has been too big. It's been a factor that they're not getting enough of what they need from it. But like, this is a massive, massive endeavor that's happening by the NRL, and this could absolutely change the game in how rugby is getting performed in the region, in the market share. All right. The NRL is one of the wealthiest rugby focused leagues in the world. I think it's just below top 14, and top 14 really is just funded by a bunch of billionaires that just have money to lose because of the way the tax system in France seems to work. Rugby league actually seems to be getting a serious amount of money from their TV deals. I think they received last year a revenue of about 800 million, with more than 50 million as a part of the as 50 million as a part of the what do you call it? their profit. So like for me, I go into this and you go, what? How do you not try and copy this? But give credit where credit is due. Now the money is obviously 600 million over 10 years, 60 million a year. Basically, they've already said that the deal is basically done. Papua New Guinea has confirmed that they got a new license for NRL, and it is reported that federal government is basically already set, and the pathway is already being used to be able to get stuff into the South Pacific. So, shout out NRL for doing what nobody seems to be figuring out how to do, creating value, utilizing rugby as a tool overtly, and finding the way to get the support. I remember talking to, I think it was Paul Sheehy, and he was like, one thing that needs to be done in rugby in the US has been the factor of we need to be able to get political aspects. It's been advantageous for the NFL. Over 6 years ago, it was what allowed them to be able to make money as an NFL under a nonprofit where they didn't have to report any profits and they just had to make sure that they were exactly break even while simultaneously the individual franchises were able to make their money, and allowed it to grow exponentially. NBA has been able to do it. Like the biggest sports have found a way to not just win the audience, but they win the law simultaneously. And this is one. Now, mind you, there's been a lot of pushback that has come with this. There's a lot of Australians who are not happy about the money that's being spent and felt like this should have been put somewhere else. Another particularly that this was announced the same day. I can't. This was announced the same exact day that the Melbourne Rebels were shut down. So it is kind of a big deal overall where money costs one team, but is gaining a whole other league at the same time. And you got to love that for a bit of irony going into all this. So let me know what you guys think about this. Let me know where you guys are feeling on this one. Like, do you feel like this is something that needs to be replicated? Is there something to be able to glean from the situation that allows you to be like, okay, maybe we can copycat this? Like I said, I feel like it's something that needs to be done across the board. But again, it's tough to be able to do it if you don't take the effort, or nor do you have the understanding of your own value, or don't get you get in your own way because you want to be traditionalist. But that's just me. That's just me.
We're taking dumplings to a new level. My name is Gift Bailu. I'm here with Health Enhanced Foods, and I want to introduce you to one of our most popular products, dumpling flour. What makes our dumpling flour so popular is that it is a mix of unrefined super flours that create the maximum level of nourishment for your personal dumplings. This is including mixes like buckwheat, sunflower, flax seeds, everything that helps to be able to make your appetite stronger, more fulfilled, and healthier. Including within that, we have no added sugars, so we want to make sure that it is rich in protein, rich in fiber, and rich in vitamins and minerals. Our dumpling flour is diabetic friendly, high in quality gluten-free mixes with no rice. And if you know, you know. There's always a little bit of rice to be able to stabilize it, not here in our dumpling flour. It is naturally nourishing, and of course, it's a great substitute for wheat-based dumplings. With this gluten-free dumpling, you can now make your croissants, you can make your rice dumplings, you can make your dessert dumplings. You can absolutely find this at healthenhancedfoods.com. Go ahead, get yourself a bag, get yourself a pallet, and make sure that you can fulfill for your people and yourself the way that you really deserve it. Don't wait, let's go.